Okay, welcome. I'm going to go over and I'll hop off of that so I can see what's going on. I'm going to put this down here out of the way. I'm going to talk about maintaining a personal website on GitHub, which I think they call GitHub Pages. And you see a little list over here if that's showing up. The tools you'll need, which really aren't tools, two of them, I guess, are. But you'll be using Finder on a Mac or File Explorer if you're stuck on Windows. I recommend Sublime Text as the editor, text editor, but it can be anything. Text edit, Notepad, it doesn't matter. And whatever your web browser is, that will work. Safari, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, whatever you got. And you'll need an app from GitHub, which is where you put your GitHub page, your GitHub repo, which I won't go into how to set that up and all that. There's lots of videos for that. I'm just going to talk about you got one and you want to change it. And you want to make those changes nice and consistent and pretty much easy to do, almost a no brainer kind of thing. So, the first thing we will do is we will go and open Finder. And let me see if I can hide this cam window so it's not in my way. Hide ecam. Okay, there we go. Kinda. Really. Mm. So, usually it's going to be iCloud, G Drive, or something. You're just looking for a picture, like a JPEG, maybe. Let's just do the one I did yesterday and messed up because it's PNG, but I'll do it anyway. So we're going to highlight that somewhere, wherever you have it. You looked for, you found it, and that's what you want to put on your web page now, on this type of web page. So we've highlighted it, selected it. We go up here to this little circle, which hopefully is showing up, and we will do a copy. You can also go up in the bar up there and do the same thing. So now that we've got a copy of it, we're going to go where our GitHub stuff is, which is right here. And this one's called lindalevid.github.io. And just a tip, if you don't have a permanent web address like whatever.com, you can always just use this. It works right away. And let's say we're in the GitHub repo underneath GitHub. Let me make that clear. So we go into our GitHub repos here. I got several. We're going to work on this one, which I brought down just to work on. And you can see it's broken up nicely. It's got images, it's got CSS, it's got its HTML pages, all right there. Let's whack on it so we're just seeing that. You see all your HTML pages, which is we're going to change. And we're going to put this new image that we just got, the candles thing, over here. And there's many subfolders under images. And one of those we're headed to and want to do is journal. So we go into it and we go to this circle thing again and we paste our new candles video. And I'll get rid of this one so it's not confusing. So that's what we're going to go after and put into our code. So while we're here, if you tap on it on a Mac anyway, you can change the name, but we're not changing it. We're just doing it so we can do a Command C and copy that name. And you probably saw a little flash. That was it doing the copy. So now we're done with Finder. So let's go that was all of this right here in my little notes. We used Finder. We found what we wanted. We moved it over to Documents, GitHub, our repo, which is, lindalavid.github.io. And for this example, and then we pasted it, what we copied into there. So it's ready to roll. Now you would use whatever editor you prefer. In this case, it's going to be Sublime Text, which is this weird little ziggy zaggy thing over here on my screen anyway. So we bring that up, and most likely it'll come up blank like this. But this is how Sublime Text, once it's been opened on a certain folder, which is this one, it will show you everything underneath it. And we're really headed for this thing called journal.html because we want to change that. Now, first, let me see if I changed it yesterday. If I did, no, I did not. I think this has been altered a little bit. That's okay. We'll fix that. Yes, it has been altered. So I will move this down here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're in a row of these little image things. And what you will do, you'll come in here and I use my cursor here and put it on the line above one that already exists. So this is an image that's already there. And when it gets selected like that, you can do a Command C. And then when you move down one, it moved down to here, but we move it back up. We can do Command V to paste it back in. And in here, we're going to put in that name that we just got from over there. Well, we did not get it from over there. So we got to go look at journals. And I can see the name here, candles underscore plus ping. So let's just do that. We always try to keep them lowercase. So this always works no matter what. 50 plus dot png. And then here I just change beauty to candles. So now we see a little dot up here, a big circle, and that means it hasn't been saved, this document, journal.html. So we Command S, or we go to File and Save. And in the menu bar, there's the hint. That little swiggle thing means Command, and that's an S. So now it's saved because it went back to X. And to preview this and see if we did a good job, we just pick a blank line and we kind of double tap or right click if you're able to. A menu pops up, and one thing in the menu you want to use is open in browser. Now, I'm not sure where that's going to end up in a new tab in my existing window. So now we're looking at it locally. You can tell by the name with all the slashes in there. Plus it says file on Chrome. Not sure what it does on Safari, but probably something similar. And we scroll down. Where's those candles? There they are. So we just updated our page, but only right here on our machine where we test everything. So if we were doing more, we could probably keep this open. And when you come back, you can do a refresh on Safari, like reload the page. I think on Safari, it's right here in the bar, the URL bar. But anyway, that's that. You would probably kill that or close the browser. So now you're ready for the next step. Let's make sure we covered everything. We're in Sublime Text, which we may have had to start either from the doc or an applications folder in Finder. We click on what we wanted to edit, which is journal.html. We scroll to that last bottom line of asterisk, which is really marking where the last thing we changed is at, which most likely is what you would want to copy. If you're doing a page like this, where you may have an endless series of images you want to put in, and go through all of that. We did a Command C, we did a V, we selected a block. And by block, I mean, let's go back over here for a second. By block, I mean this. There's a blank line, then a div, then to the closing div. That's what I mean by a block of, we want to copy that every time. And then change inside it this name and that name. And then save. That's it. So we covered that. And of course, you would repeat that as needed to do all of your images. So now you're done with Sublime. You saved it. It's an X now, not a circle. You go up to Sublime and you quit Sublime. Just get it out of the hopper. And let's put our screen back up so we can see that. We're still here, but where are we headed this time? Okay, we don't need that. We're headed to the part where we try to make this live. So we're going to go to an app that we downloaded and installed previously. There's also videos for that. It's called GitHub Desktop. Usually it looks like some kind of little cat. There it is. So let's bring that up. Okay, it's not taking up too much screen. Let me make it a little bit bigger, maybe. I think I got to be on it to move it. There we go. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, that's good. Now, the first thing you notice when it comes up is you have a choice of repositories. I have many, but we're just going to focus on this. And if you only had one, that's the one that will come up. And you can ignore these Mac things, that .ds store. You don't care. Nobody cares. Most people want it to go away. So these first two are Apple Mac things going on, and you just don't care. You want to see your two things you changed. One, you added this new image, that one, and you changed this page, and it'll show you your changes if you click on these things. You don't have to, of course. You can just come here and you can type, I won't push this, but we'll type added image, added candles. So it makes sense later. Candles image. And then this comes up. It says commit to main, which I can do right here, I think. And it did. So locally, I've made the changes in a repository, they call it. It's like a history thing, versioning thing. But you can see up here in this area that all your changes are gone because you don't have any new changes. And then on this side, it will say no local changes, which you don't have. But you do have stuff you can push origin. This button comes up. And when you click that, it's like making it live, but not really. It goes up to GitHub, sits around for a while, they chew on it, and then it becomes live. It usually takes a couple minutes. So let's make sure we did all that because this is our last step. At this point, you would have verified everything, you would have pushed it up there, and you'd be good to go. So we did that. We clicked in our doc, but it could be an applications folder. You'll see a list of your changes. You'll enter a summary, this thing over here, and you clicked on commit to main, which we did. And if all is well in the right panel, you'll see push origin. There sometimes can be mistakes and errors, which you have to clear up, but usually not. Then you click that blue button, and when you do that, it's sending everything you changed to GitHub, and they're making changes. And when you're done with that, if I clicked on it, both panels would be nice and clean. You would just, this blue area would go away completely. And you would just see these three down here, which you don't care about at this point. So that means you're good to go. Now, this last step here, I'm saying, let's give that a color while we're here. I'll make it green. What the heck? There we go. And you just need some patience to wait for it to be updated by GitHub. And no matter how many times you go back there and click on it to try to hurry it up, that actually seems to delay it usually. So you just wait for a while. So now we're done with GitHub Desktop. Let's close that. And let's bring back, nope, we're done with Finder too. So let's get rid of that. Let's bring back the browser so you can see what our end result is. And if you were to come back here, you would see updated like a minute ago or something. I'm not going to change it because it's somebody else's, but that is it. Now let me go find my thing so I can end it here. 14 minutes is a little long. Once you get the hang of this, it won't take you probably less than half that time. So with that, I will say peace, and I will share these notes off to the side for anyone who wants to use them. So with that, peace. Thanks for watching.